Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking and pension needs, call or visit a Fidelity branch today. Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. And Cayman Pharmacy Group, with locations in West Base and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. And Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling Seaboard Marine at 949-4977.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. I trust that everyone had an enjoyable weekend, that you were able to accomplish all of the things that you set out to do. Those of you who were out there exercising, trust that you enjoyed the day as well. I know there was one young man who took on a great challenge, running from Bottomanu in West Bay all the way to Rum Point. Started at 3 o'clock in the morning. We saw him at Savannah gas station at about 5:15, 5:20, and then probably after 8 o'clock, after 8, crossed him in the Great Tree Point area, heading towards Rum Point as well. Quite an accomplishment. I would figure that that person had pretty close to 26, 29 miles of, over 26, probably about 29 miles of running yesterday. Quite an accomplishment as well. So I trust that everyone had an enjoyable weekend and that you're raring to go this Monday morning as well. I want to thank you, our listening and viewing audience, for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor. You're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. Our phone lines are always open, and there is always someone there waiting to take your calls. Whose voice is normally there? That beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and the 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, you can email us at For the Record. That is one word, For the Record, at candw.ky. You can also WhatsApp us on 925-3261. Leave us a text message or send us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us live simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. That is Radio Cayman live stream. And you can follow us live on YouTube as well. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday this week or today, I want to wish you all a very happy birthday, and trust that you will live to see many, many more. And I will take this opportunity to wish my good friend in New York, Mr. Clarence Forbes, a happy birthday today as well. A man who doesn't get any older, even though his age may go up. All of his business associates in New York, when they see him, they talk about this Mr. Forbes, this young man. No one can believe his age. So I want to wish him a very happy birthday today. I know the temperatures are getting pretty cold in New York. You had some bad weather last week. Again, one of those situations where the authorities in New York underestimated the weather report, and as a result, no one was prepared for the amount of snow that they received. As a result, many people were delayed getting home from work. Students were stuck on buses and everything. So I'm sure that Mayor de Blasio will catch a little flack from that as well, and I would expect that there will probably be some heads rolling. So I want to say again, happy birthday to my good friend Forbes. I know that his daughter Charlene probably has something planned for him as well to celebrate his birthday. So Clarence, you have a great day as well. And to all of those of you who are celebrating birthdays either today or this week, the same to you. For those families who may have lost loved ones, again, we want to send our condolences to you and say that our prayers are with you, our support is behind you, and we trust that you can take some comfort in remembering the good times that you were able to spend with your loved one before they passed on as well. Also want to remind you that we'll be talking about Celebrate Cayman dinner today. So we will have guests on later on talking about Celebrate Cayman dinner. But also, I need not remind you that we're coming up on the holiday season. The big talk now is Black Friday. That is coming up. They need to probably change that name from Black Friday to something else, because for some reason, everything that is associated with something that's not good, even though Black Friday is supposed to be a happy time, but the whole concept of Black Friday had to do with dark days when things didn't go right, things on the stock market. And we always take blackness to connote something that is bad, something that is dismal, and we need to change that as well. So the holiday season is coming up. People will be doing a lot of celebrating. People will be doing a lot of spending. And I just say to you, there are those of you who give generously throughout the year, who consider those who are less fortunate than you are, and you try to assist them. And then there are those who wait for special occasions to do it. And I want to encourage you that, again, during this holiday season, think of those who are in need and give them what they need, not necessarily what they want as well. And remember that whatever you do in a positive light will come back tenfold in terms of what you will receive. The same thing can be said if you do bad and if you do evil, it will turn around and bite you also. One of her, I won't call the name, but one of her, my co-workers here in the studio was relating a story last week when she was much younger. Well, not that much younger, but she happened to be going into one of the supermarkets in the parking lot, stepped on something, turned around, and it was an envelope, and it contained something like $900 in that envelope. Called her mother and said, "Mommy, I just found this envelope with this money. What should I do with it?" Her mother said, "Is it yours?" She said, "No, it isn't mine." She said, "Well, you need to find that person who it's for, get in contact with them, and ensure that that money goes to them." And she did that. She was able to track the person down, gave them the money. The person's daughter was so thankful because it was around school opening time. The needed to buy uniforms for her daughter, school supplies and everything, so they were extremely grateful. And what should happen? A couple of weeks later, she is in a parking lot and always busy, always on the move, leaves her wallet on top of the car and drives off. And someone was able to track her down. And I'm not saying that she's absent-minded or anything like that, but again, it happened at a restaurant, and she left it, and it tracked her down. So when you do good, my point is that when you do good, good will follow you as well. So there's an old saying that no good deed goes unpunished, but I would also say that no good deed goes unrewarded. If you don't see it in terms of tangible results, in terms of you getting something back, just your peace of mind, the knowledge that you have been able to help someone else without publicizing it or anything else, that in itself is something good. You would have heard me remark last week on the show that there are many persons who give, and they give without any recognition, without seeking any recognition that they are in fact the givers. They give anonymously. There are many companies in the Cayman Islands that do the same as well. Yet there are some who choose not to do so, and then there are others who, rather than giving in the form of monetary contributions, will give in other ways as well. So, again, if you pay it forward, you will reap the rewards at the end of the day. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I will introduce my guests with us, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. And we also want you to participate in the discussions that we will be having about celebrating Cayman as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
In 1904, Cayman Brac Turtland captain and boat builder Daniel Jervis built the prototype Caymanian catboat named Terra, an obvious improvement on the previous canoe-style boats of the day. The Caymanian catboat was on an average 16 feet long and drew no more than 8 inches of water. Painted in their distinctive catboat blue color, it provided effective camouflage when seen from below, permitting the crew to discreetly approach turtles.
Radio Cayman's Historical Facts Vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
It's more than what we do. It's who we are. We were your official bank of the quincentennial celebrations in 2003. We were your Bank of the Year 4 times. We were voted as the inaugural top employer in 2010. We were the inaugural Business of the Year awardee in 2017. Who are we? We are Cayman National, your local bank, proudly serving you for over 40 years. It's because of you that our journey continues.
The Cayman Pharmacy Group would like to thank the Cayman communities for their continuous support for over the past decade. CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy opened its doors in March 2000. West Bay Pharmacy first opened their doors in March 2004. The Cayman Pharmacy Group was established in July 2007. Throughout the years, our CPG family has provided more than just pharmaceuticals to our loyal friends and customers. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has protected the lives of our medical community by securing the best healthcare advice and pharmaceutical services. To us at CPG, you are more than just a number. So, we are taking the time to say thank you for choosing CPG. The Cayman Pharmacy Group, taking care of your health.
You remember the sale at Vamped Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice. The one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on. But now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself. While they still have so much to choose from, save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vamped Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back, add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vamped Motors will help you drive it home. Vamped Motors on Walker's Road. A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square. Enjoy a Broadway show or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's why you need Contractors All Risk Insurance from Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Ensure you're covered in the event of property damage and third-party injury or damage claims during your construction projects. And with Fidelity Insurance Brokers, you can be sure you are getting competitive pricing and superior customer service. Call us today for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Cayman Kind is the Cayman experience.
We work at the Cayman Craft Market.
It is a myth that we do not need the cruise ship industry.
It is a fact that when there are no ships in port, we do not earn a living. We depend on the cruise industry, and if it was to reduce by half, many others just like us would suffer immensely. We want to work and provide for our families.
We need the pier.
Support the piers. Support our tourism.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record with your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm your host, Orrett Connor. And it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me now Miss Marzita Borden, who is the Deputy Executive Chair of the Celebrate Cayman organization. Of course, you know, Celebrate Cayman involved in many things, celebrating the introduction of the Cayman Islands, Constitution, the coat of arms as well. So we have so much here in the Cayman Islands that we can celebrate. Many of us talk about the number of foreign people that we have in the Cayman Islands. In some instances, that is good. Some people see it as being not too good when our population size, the indigenous population of the Cayman Islands, feel that they're threatened. But at the same time, I think that we should be proud that here in this little 2x4 island, we have been able to have the kind of government, the type of economy where we are able to attract people from larger countries and give them the ability to support their families based on being able to work in the Cayman Islands. There are not many small jurisdictions that can boast what we boast here in the Cayman Islands. So we have a lot to celebrate. But Ms. Marzita Borden is going to tell us about a particular and a very special celebration. Ms. Borden, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. As you rightfully said, there's so much to celebrate about Cayman. Of course, at the core of what we're doing is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Coat of Arms. But that's a platform to celebrate all things Cayman. Yes. And over the past few months, we've done that in many ways, from history, culture, food, the arts, with our children through education, and beyond. And coming up later this month, we are inviting people to have a national conversation about Cayman. It's a national dinner party is what we're calling it internally. It's the beloved table dinner, and of course we're here in the beloved Isle Cayman, and we are inviting people from the Cayman Islands who live here, who work here, who are from here, who are visiting, to attend or host one of these dinners for us to have this collective conversation, a meaningful conversation about the Cayman Islands. If anyone takes a moment to just think about, well, when was the last time you had a conversation that you walked away feeling impacted or thinking more deeply about a particular subject? It was probably around a table, whether it was with family or with friends or for business, because we know the power of food to bring people together. And near the end of this month, early next month, we're obviously also celebrating Cayman Thanksgiving. And we thought that's a great time to encourage people to gather around a table to talk about the Cayman Islands in a structured and meaningful way.
Okay. And it's not simply just going to be talking, but you want people to talk and you want people to take note of what is being said, and those who are in a position to effect change, to move things forward, they will be doing that as well?
That's correct. So if someone's listening now, and I hope everyone's listening going, how is this going to work?
Yes.
So envision this. People have lots of options and ways to participate, and I'll get into those in just a moment. But at every table, we want groups of 8 to 10 people to gather. There will be a host who's sort of leading that table, if you will. The hosts have a toolkit, which is available on our website and in a couple of the fashions, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the toolkit sort of gives you insights and tips on how the evening should flow, how the conversation be structured, and then the 6 questions that we want everyone to dive into. And then after the meal, we want the host to give us some of those insights and feedback that they've discovered from their own beloved table of 8 to 10 people. And then Celebrate Cayman will collate that information and share those insights in an easily digestible way with not just the hosts and the attendees, but the wider Cayman Islands. And the hope from that is for us to get a good sense of what people are thinking, what people are feeling. Hopefully, people who walk away from each of those tables are inspired to do something with what they've learnt or what they felt or what they thought about or the connections that they made. This information can be shared with, of course, with government. It'll be shared with non-profits, civic-minded organizations and people, because it's a great opportunity to get the pulse of what people are thinking and feeling about the Cayman Islands and their vision for its future and where we're going. And it's not uncommon for us to have these conversations sort of in passing, but I think that taking a couple of hours to sit intentionally and have a conversation about Cayman, about our thoughts about where we've come from, where we are, where we're going. I think there's great power in that because, of course, in the same fashion that anyone who wants to achieve personal or professional success might sit down near the end of the year and go, all right, what worked well this year? What do I want to do next year? What do I want to achieve? And they do that for themselves. We need to do that as a country as well. And while I recognize that there are lots of people and bodies and organizations who are charged with doing that and guiding us as a country, we all have a role to play in that as well. And I think that carving out a couple of hours between the 29th of November and the 2nd of December, ideally, and having this and sharing that with us, I think that's a small action that can make a big difference in terms of what 2019 but beyond might look like for this country. I have no idea what those insights might be like. I have no idea what the feedback might be, but it might spark something that really has a indelible impact on the country.
And like you said, this is going to be open to all and sundry who want to come and participate. And during the course of the show, you will give details in terms of venues and stuff. I know, in Rock Hole, for instance, when we play dominoes, we have our little group. We'll sit down and we talk politics. We'll gap seed a little bit, gossip a little bit, and, who heard this and who heard that. But we also discuss issues of national importance.
Yes.
And it's a nice setting. We just sit there and we'll chat and we'll talk, and at some point in time we'll get up and then we'll go and we'll play our dominoes. But we do our talking first. We sit and we do our talking talking first, and that is in a very informal setting.
Yes.
That we do that, and there are many people do it. They do it in bar rooms. They sit around and they talk politics. They do it in restaurants. They do it everywhere. But this is an opportunity for us, for you, not only to provide that venue, but also to collate the information. I guess the only thing that you would say to people is that don't talk with food in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly, of course. Table etiquette is always required. But if there's a group of people who say, you know what, we don't want to do dinner, we just want to, crack open a couple of K-brews before we play dominoes and have this conversation, that's fine too. If people decide, you know what, after church on a Sunday, we'll do a gathering and you're happy to commit that time. If you want to sit with your children at home, and we'll talk about options doing it at home too. The point is we want you to have that conversation. Of course, we like the idea of doing it around food because everyone's comfortable. No one's going to say, well, I need to go because I need to get some dinner or whatever the case might be. So the dinner table is a great forum. It's a bit more intimate for a group. But again, whatever works for each person, the toolkit, it gives you that guide for that conversation, and whatever forum that works well for you and your small network or community to have that conversation, then that's fine. So please do have your conversation over dominoes in Rockwell.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a big shout out to Miss Paula Scott this morning as well. Last Sunday, she had at her caboose, she had a little get together, cooked up some salt beef and beans and some conch and some wilk, and invited a group of people. The Swanky Kitchen Band was there as well, and this was an occasion just to help to assist one member of the community. And people were there, and they were talking. Of course, we had Lord Graham there. He was he was one of the informal MCs that evening as well, and there were jokes, and like I said, there was music and everything, and again, a perfect setting. So, Miss Paula, I know you're listening. You're always listening. So here's an opportunity again for you to put something together, and Miss Marzita will tell you about the toolkit. How we can use that toolkit, because we do not want these conversations and the information that will emanate from these conversations to just simply go up into the air, as smoke into the air. We want to be able to use it, to continue to use it as well, right?
Yes, exactly. Because I think that, again, speaking back to when we want to talk about, what the future looks like, it's very easy for you and I to sit here and have a conversation about what we think we want for Cayman. But when we amplify that and expand that to 100 people, 200 people, 400 people, then you start to really get a good sense of what people are actually thinking, what they want. And there are people in the community who are looking for this sort of insight to decide, what they're going to do in their business and their nonprofit and their portfolios. And if we want to be a part of affecting change, I think communication is a critical part of that. I firmly believe, anybody knows me, talking and having conversations is one of the things that I love to do, and having a meaningful conversation, there's no mistaking that there's true power in that. Just like in any relationship or in any exchange, you want to talk about what I'm thinking, what you're thinking, what we're both feeling, what we want, where to go next, how we think we can get there. And when it comes to our individual and collective relationship with Cayman, having a conversation about it is a important place to begin.
Folks, the discussion is taking place with Ms. Marzita Borden, who's the Deputy Executive Chair of the Celebrate Cayman. We're talking about Celebrate Cayman's beloved table dinner. Please stay tuned. The conversation with Ms. Marzita Borden will continue immediately after the 8 o'clock news, and we will also welcome your participation in the conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Price Right is 8 o'clock.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
Access. Information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
A Royal Cayman Islands police officer is hit by a car during a traffic stop in West Bay. Around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday, officers were conducting a traffic check near Yacht Drive on the Esterly Tibbetts Highway. During this check, police say a dark-colored sedan appeared to slow down to stop upon approaching the location. An officer at the location approached the vehicle and attempted to speak with both the driver and passenger of the car. Police say after getting no response from either party, the officer attempted to get the license plate number of the car by walking in front of the car that had parked. It was then police report the driver of the vehicle then drove off and struck the officer with the car, then sped off and broke through the roadblock entering into West Bay. The officer received first aid by other officers on the scene. He was then taken to the hospital by ambulance for treatment and later released. He suffered only minor injuries. An RCIPS spokesperson says the actions displayed by the driver of this vehicle was reckless and an unwarranted attack on a police officer carrying out his lawful duty, which could have resulted in serious injury and even the loss of life. The RCIPS is appealing to anyone with information regarding this incident, information about the vehicle and its two occupants. You can contact the Georgetown Police Station at 949-4222 or their confidential tip line at 949-7777. The Department of Agriculture says it is working with Christmas tree importers to expedite shipments. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The Department of Agriculture does not want to be the Grinch this Christmas, but they say they also have to ensure that Christmas tree importers aren't bringing in pests dangerous to Cayman's plant life. Describing it as a delicate balance, agriculture officials say for a number of years, importing trees from the U.S. and Canada has been relatively problem-free, but they must stay vigilant. DOA's Adrian Estwick says a particular concern are what are called non-host specific pests. He gives the pine tortoise scale as an example, introduced by Christmas tree to the Turks and Caicos Islands, placing a significant threat on entire pine yard ecosystems. Mr. Estwick commended his team here in Cayman on the efforts they're making to ensure the public can have Christmas trees, at the same time considering the short and long-term effects on the environment. DOE says it's been in communication with and held meetings with importers since the summer and tries to facilitate the process through minor revisions on import conditions based on feedback received. All the revisions have been done in consultation with and reviewed by representatives of the Caribbean Agriculture, Health and Food Safety Agency, the Regional Plant Protection Organization for the Caribbean, the Canadian Food and Inspection Agency, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Inspection Service. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
The DOA encourages importers to contact 947-3090 for information on importation conditions and to facilitate a successful process. In other local news, that's the sound of freedom for 4 Grand Cayman parrots released into the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park Saturday morning, a joint initiative between the park, the Cayman Turtle Center, and Island Heritage. Monique Bush is the marketing and communication manager for Island Heritage. She's thrilled they could help make this day a reality.
Our pillars for our corporate giving are culture and environment, and we thought this is like a perfect fit for us. We kind of saw the potential to build it out to be an event that the community could get behind, and we are all about that. So we were really excited about it and are so happy with how successful it was.
Giddes Hislop manages the aviary at the Turtle Center. He says getting the parrots ready for release took time, effort, and money. Hearing the birds getting to know their new environment was worth it all.
Oh, it's great. It's great, especially to see them actually doing what we wanted them to do. When they released in the wild, they went straight to a tree, and they started probing around and picking, which is good because it means that they're not stressed. It means that they're relaxed and they're okay. They're gonna find their food. They're gonna be great.
The 4 parrots, by the way, were named Jade, TD, Susie, in honor of Susie Soto and Fiona. We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it for me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. The chairman of the Japanese carmaker Nissan, Carlos Ghosn, has been arrested in Tokyo after being questioned by police in connection with financial wrongdoing. Nissan said it had uncovered significant acts of misconduct involving Mr. Ghosn, who's also the chairman of Renault and Mitsubishi. Saudi Arabia's King Salman has promised in his annual address to Parliament to ensure that no crimes go unpunished. He said he trusted the judiciary in his country to ensure justice as international outrage grows over the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. President Trump is under pressure to condemn Saudi Arabia following media reports that a CIA assessment pins ultimate blame for the killing on Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. BBC News.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Did you know that you can download free hurricane preparedness brochures from the Water Authority's website? Visit us online at www.waterauthority.ky to learn more about how you can prevent damage and minimize danger in the event of a storm. Prepared, be aware, be safe. This hurricane preparedness tip is brought to you by Water Authority Cayman, suppliers of the world's most popular drink.
Tune in to Radio Cayman every morning at 7:20 a.m. for your daily weather update. Proudly brought to you by Miller's Plumbing and Accessories. With over 47 years of experience, they'll get the job done for you on time. Free estimate. Miller's Plumbing and Accessories. Call them at 949-4709 for a free estimate.
Eastern Seventh-day Adventist Church in association with the Pioneers Fire Adventure and Pathfinder Club presents So Will I, an evening of romance and creation's heartfelt praise. Come and hear the likes of Kara Sales and all the local artists. December 2nd, 7 p.m. at the Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman. Tickets only $150, available at the Seventh-day Adventist Conference Office and our local churches. It's an evening fit not to miss.
In financial news, world shares saw moderate gains on one day after a buying spree on Wall Street sustained investor optimism into the new week, despite continuing worries over trade tensions. Keeping score, France CAC 40 added 0.4% to 5,047 in early trading, while Germany's DAX was at 11,383, up 0.4%. Britain's FTSE 100 added 0.4% to 7,042. U.S. shares were set to drift lower, with Dow futures up less than 0.1%. to 25,461. S&P 500 futures added 0.1% to 2,745. British Prime Minister Theresa May was striving to win business support for her Brexit deal with the European Union, but remained on a collision course with lawmakers seeking to unseat her. In a speech Monday, May planned to say the deal fulfills the wishes of the British people as expressed in the 2016 referendum to leave the EU, and the withdrawal has already been decided upon. Some pro-Brexit lawmakers in May's Conservative Party oppose the deal between Britain and the EU. They are trying to gather the 48 lawmakers they need to trigger a non-confidence vote in Parliament. And clashes between China and the U.S. at a Pacific Rim summit over the weekend may signal limit prospects for a breakthrough in a standoff over the Trump administration's complaints that Beijing steals or pressures foreign companies to hand over technology as the price of market access. The U.S. has imposed a 10% tariff on $200 billion of Chinese goods. That tariff is set to rise to 25% in January. Another $50 billion of Chinese goods already is subject to 25% duties. Beijing has responded with penalty duties on $110 billion of American goods. Talks continue ahead of a meeting between Chinese President and U.S. President Donald Trump planned for the G20 summit later this month. That is the latest in financial news here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
I don't have time to understand this whole social media thing. And I definitely don't have the in-house people to manage my social media advertising.
Relax. Yellow Media Group can help.
But I don't even know how to run ads on social media.
It's all right. Yellow Media Group delivers real results for social media advertising. Let our Facebook certified experts and over 50 years of advertising experience do the work for you.
That sounds wonderful. I'm too busy running my business.
Exactly. Let Yellow Media Group be your social media team. We'll create a custom plan specifically for your business so that you can focus on your business.
Perfect. How do I start?
Call 949-7027 or go to www.yellowmediagroup.com/Cayman Social. Yellow, we know social.
The Paramount Carpet pre-Christmas blowout sale is back. For one whole week, starting Monday, November 19th through Saturday, November 24th. Save big with assorted remnant tiles, $250 square foot, $100 a pallet. Assorted remnant granite slabs as low as $300 a slab. Ceramic tiles as low as 75 cents a square foot. Porcelain tiles as low as 99 cents a square foot. Area rugs, 35% off. Carpets, 25% off. Tools, 10% off. And all other in-house tiles, 20% off. Cash and carry. It's the big blowout sale at the Paramount Carpet, located at 317 North Sound Road, Industrial Park. Open Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 949-5000.
Do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
Cruise tourism is a vital part of Cayman's economy. It is the government's responsibility to create an environment where our people can have an opportunity to grow and prosper today, tomorrow, and into the future. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that cruise passengers spend $200 million per year buying services from small businesses, tour operators, attractions, restaurants, and retail shops. Those funds stay right here, supporting our economy and communities. Support the pairs. Support our tourism.
Join us on International Men's Day. Head to the premiere of the thought-provoking short film Men's Voice on Monday, 19th November and bag great seat prices. Free admission to the 15-minute local documentary. Hear them, see them, support them. Watch a cross-section of male influencers talking about the big issues facing men today. Hear what they have to say about overcoming those problems. See Men's Voice at Regal Cinemas on November 19th at 6 p.m. and continue the conversation because men's issues matter.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 92%. Barometric pressure is 29.97 inches and rising. The wind is east-northeast at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 78 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate northeasterly winds and slight seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a weak high-pressure system over the southeast United States. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of morning showers, and temperatures will rise to the mid to upper 80s. Your winds will be east to northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Forecast for tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of late night showers, and temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Your winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 1:29. We're presently at a high tide, and the next high will be this evening at 6:57. The sun will set this evening at 5:45 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:37. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning.
I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's new kitchen and bath center.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Good morning once again, and let's take a look what's happening traffic-wise. Busy traffic coming from the east on Shamrock Road, also on the Linford Pearson Highway, and traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady but flowing. Steady traffic as well, but flowing on Huldah Avenue as well as Thomas Russell Avenue. And busy traffic as well on Cool Road, on the North Sound Road, traffic flowing moderately. Light to moderate traffic flow coming from the Westway four-way stop. And in and out of Georgetown and Shed Road, not looking too bad as traffic is light to moderate, as well as on Edward Street. On Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic flowing moderately. On the Westway Road, steady traffic heading to Georgetown, and from the Georgetown area heading to West Bay on the West Bay Road, traffic is moderate. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 as we update you traffic-wise. And remember, when you see a school bus with lights flashing red and a stop sign, stop means stop. Have a good morning and drive safe, Cayman Islands.
Business owners and marketing managers, did you know that during the holidays, 1 in every 3 persons in Cayman search findyellow.com? Get more visibility for your business with Yellow's special Christmas advertising package. Contact our advertising consultants at 949-7027 or visit findyellow.com to find out more. Yellow, we know Cayman.
Run off that extra helping of turkey dinner and give back in a big way this Thanksgiving. Register now for the Meals on Wheels Turkey Trot 5K and 10K Fun Walk and Run on Saturday, November 24th at the Holiday Inn Resort in Safe Haven. Registration is only $25, and there are lots of spot prizes to be won. Breakfast, a costume competition, children's race, and so much more. Sponsored in part by Rum Point Club Residences and Greenlight Re. Help Meals on Wheels fight senior hunger in the Cayman Islands. Visit www.mealsonwheels.ky or register at CaymanActive.com.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
In local sports, basketball fans are anticipating a great showdown between 8 top college basketball teams from the U.S. as the second annual Cayman Islands Classic NCAA College Basketball Tournament gets underway this week. More now from Radio Cayman's Dion Anglin.
8 top NCAA college basketball teams will compete for the second annual Cayman Islands Classic Championship Trophy. The college basketball tournament organizers are on island preparing for the 3-day event. Joe Wright is the CEO for the tournament. Congratulations on getting Stadium. Stadium, only the first 24/7 multi-platinum sports network, and it's of my understanding that Facebook will cover all 12 games of the tournament. How big is this announcement, and how will it benefit the tournament? And also, how do Facebook junkies tune in for these games?
It's a great big opportunity for us. We definitely, they got in contact with us and said that they wanted to stream all 12 games, Facebook Watch. Stadium is the producer of the company, so they're the ones that make it all happen. They do all the stuff around and on the backside to make it possible. They came on board at the last minute about probably, I would say 6 weeks ago. It was a privilege for them to get all 12 games streamed. It's a big opportunity for Cayman Islands Classic. We're excited. This is going to put us on a platform of a possibility of 1.4 to 2 billion people seeing us live on Facebook Watch. As of right now, we're the first preseason basketball tournament to be seen by that many people. The Maui Classic, which probably is the biggest tournament of all preseason tournaments, is being shown by ESPN, but only 88 million people see it. So we're extremely happy with the opportunity to get Facebook and stadium to come on board with us, and it's just going to throw us out there to a global audience, and that's what we want the Cayman Islands Classic to see. So hadn't said that absolutely gives the Cayman Islands great exposure, gets to show the island, the basketball, to our great sponsors, which will be seen globally, and all of our hotel sponsors that are going to be seen throughout this broadcast, and we're extremely excited about it.
Come out this Monday, November 19th through the 21st to see Georgia, Illinois State, St. Bonaventure, Georgia State, Boise State, Creighton, Clemson, and Akron in action at the John Gray Gymnasium. Check out www.CaymanIslandsClassic.com for further information. Tickets can be bought at Smoothie King or Funky Tangs. Regular prices are $50 CI per game and $75 CI for the final or championship match. Locals, don't forget to show your local ID and get the regular game tickets for $25 and the finals game ticket for $35 CI.
That is your local sports here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Ms. Marzita Bawden, who is the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman. We're talking about Celebrate Cayman dinner, or celebrating Cayman with dinner and conversation. If you go to their website, which is www.celebratecayman.ky, beloved, right? That's correct, Ms. Bawden?
/beloved.
/beloved. And you can get lots of information from there, but we're going to be giving you a lot of information right here on For the Record this morning as well. And what is this about? On their website it says, come together for a meaningful conversation about the Cayman Islands' future while enjoying delicious local food. The dinner table has long been a birthplace of connection and action. U.S. President Thomas Jefferson pioneered the art of dinner with intention, inviting people from all over the country and the world to his table and encouraging conversation on issues and topics of the day, conversations that helped define a country and its future. So Celebrate Cayman are inviting you to join us in bringing this practice to life across our islands as well. Now, I'm going to divert a little bit and just simply mention the fact that people see referenda as a way of voters expressing their opinions. A referenda, to a certain extent, gives you the opportunity to make an expression, but it is usually in the form of a yes or no. Unless you're involved in a referendum and you're out there debating the issues and able to debate the issues, as a voter, there's very little that you have in terms of a say other than going to the ballot box. Here is an opportunity for you to talk about how you feel about issues that may be raised in a referenda, be it the birthing facilities, be it constitutional changes, be it what we do about our waste disposal system in the Cayman Islands, a host of things in the Cayman Islands. We can also talk to a certain extent about what is going right in the Cayman Islands and how do we continue to ensure that perpetuates itself, as well. So many opportunities. So where you can go to the ballot box and cast a vote, this setting gives you an opportunity to talk, hear other person's views, and not only that, for someone to take note of what is taking place and to take that information and pass it on wherever may be necessary for action to be taken. Ms. Bawden.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, the dinners, again, for those of you who are just tuning in, good morning and welcome. This is part of the 60th anniversary celebrations of the coat of arms, and we're encouraging people at the Cayman Islands to attend or host these dinners where we can talk about the vision, our vision for our country, and the well-being of the people that live here and who call the Cayman Islands home, and the people who visit as well, because there are many people who visit us year in and year out, and they care tremendously about the Cayman Islands. Now, it's important to mention that while we, of course, want people to dig into and talk about the matters and issues that are important to them, these are also politically neutral. The dinners encourage groups of 8 to 10 people to gather around a table. There are 6 big questions that we have included in the Table Host Toolkit, and the table host will sort of take notes and record some of the feedback and insights, and they can share those with us. And then as we collate the responses that come back in, we will share it with the wider community. This gives every single one of us the opportunity to get a better sense of what our family, friends, neighbours across the islands are thinking and feeling about Cayman. And there might be some people who are listening who, you mentioned some of the things just now, who might be curious about what those questions might be.
Yes.
The toolkit is available on the website, but I'll read some of those questions right now. So, and I should say too, the toolkit is very, it's a guide for people to use in the conversation, because we also have, in addition to the big question, if your group, for some reason, needs the questions framed a little bit differently, we have alternatives for those. So, for example, question number 1 is, what is the best thing about living in the Cayman Islands? Now, someone who might have just moved here might not have the level of insights as someone who's been here for 20 years. So we have alternative questions like, if you moved to the Cayman Islands from elsewhere, what brought you here or what keeps you here? Or if you moved away from Cayman at some point in your life, what did you miss the most and what brought you back? So the point is the conversation is designed that we can get everyone's feedback and insights, and it's valuable and important for the conversation regardless of the perspective you're coming at it from, whether you are born here, whether you're living here, whether you've just arrived, whether you've been here for 2 decades, it doesn't matter. So that's a question. What's the best thing about living in the Cayman Islands? Another question is, we hear a lot about social issues related to civil rights, development, economic equality, education, employment, the environment, and public health. Considering these issues and others, which matter most to you? What makes them most important to you? And again, alternative questions to that. For example, which issues, if successfully addressed, will make the biggest difference in improving the quality of life for all people in the Cayman Islands? So we have, like I said, the larger questions, the big headline questions, and then we have expansions of those questions that the hosts can dive in more depending on what the group needs at any given time. And so, as you can imagine, just hearing those 2 of the 6 questions, you'll have differing perspectives and different views depending on the people who are having these conversations. Now, there might be people who are wondering, all right, well, how does it actually work? Well, you have lots of opportunities and ways to get involved in this experience. You can attend the live event. We're having a farm-to-table dinner at Cayman Cabana. That's on the 29th of November, starting at 6:30. Now, this dinner includes a 4-course meal, and things on the menu include, there's homemade swanky, of course, made with civil orange, as traditional. For those of you who don't know, swanky is Cayman lemonade. It's traditionally made with civil orange, brown sugar. So it's our local drink, if you will. There's a soup that's made with local seasonal produce that the team at Cayman Cabana will get from the market the day before, more than likely. And the appetizer is a ceviche duo, coconut ceviche, and if it's available, hopefully lionfish ceviche with bread kind chips, so breadfruit, cassava, plantain, that sort of thing. Very local food. The dinner itself, lots of delicious things on the table. There's a farm-to-table salad featuring things like local mixed greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, scallion, coconut bacon, Scotch bonnet. There's bread basket featuring bread from Kim and Brack's Pioneer Bakery, of course, which I can't help but smile about because I love it so much, with whipped butter and local beet and goat cheese spread. We'll have some stewed turtle on the menu as well. A local catch of the day, probably whatever comes up right from the market next door to Cayman Cabana, however the chef prepares it that day. Pineapple and starfruit salsa. These, of course, as you're hearing this go along, there's a wink and a nudge here to the coat of arms, pineapple, turtle, that sort of thing. Callaloo garden rice. There's a seasonal vegetable dish as well. If someone does not want to eat any animal proteins, there's options there. And for dessert, of course, there's a heavy cake dessert as well. So if you want to attend the live event, like I said, it's a 4-course Cayman Islands inspired meal. There's a welcome drink. There's after dinner live entertainment as well. As you can imagine, seating is limited. Cayman Cabana is only so big. And tickets are CI $60 per person plus 15% gratuities. If you want to take a table, if you wanted to have a table for your family, or if your company wants to send along employees or clients or friends or guests, a table for 10 guests is $700, and there'll be a table host toolkit, of course, provided to all tables on the evening, so you have a hard copy of that toolkit. But if people are saying, well, I can't attend that evening, or for some reason that's not available to them, no problem. We've got you covered. We have a host at home option as well. Yes. So we are, in addition to being so pleased to partner with Cayman Cabana, we're pleased to partner with Foster's Food Fair as well.
Yes.
So Foster's has prepared a beloved table dinner meal in a box. And that is a 3-course meal featuring local favorites prepared by Foster's Food Fair. It's CI $100 and feeds 8 to 10 people. And all you have to do is order 48 hours in advance. You'll get a hard copy toolkit and everything. So it's not too early to make everybody hungry. So I'll quickly share what the menu is from Foster's. It's the main course. You choose one of Cayman style beef, fried coconut fish with coconut curry sauce, or roast pork with savoury herb gravy. You can choose any 3 from the following sides: rice and beans, baked macaroni and cheese, Cayman-style potato salad, crushed local sweet potatoes, steamed callaloo, baked plantain. You get 12 dinner rolls plus a cassava cake. And that's CI $100 and feeds 8 to 10 people. And if you wanted to get the additional sides, you can order them so you have all of them, because I don't know how it even pick from those. That's a heck of a deal
for 100.
It is an incredible deal, and I think it just speaks to the fact that Foster's wants to make it easy for everyone to host these dinners. If you can attend the live event. But of course, if you want to prepare your own favorite dishes, it might be dishes from your home country, or dishes that reflect the nationalities of people represented, or just you want to do something easy. Maybe just Thursday night is always your pizza night and you want to just do pizza. That's fine too. So you can have your own meal. You gather 8 to 10 people, and you'll have the table host toolkit, which you can download from our website, and you can pick up hard copies as well. So lots of ways to do this. Like I said, we obviously want people to do it between the 29th of November and the 2nd of December. However, if you can't do it between those dates, no problem, because we still want you to do it. We still want your feedback. Any feedback that comes into us by the 14th of December, so that's a whole 2 weeks after the event, it will be included in the post-dinner insights report. But obviously anything done after that, still share it with us, but it might not be included because we have to collate and submit that information.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Ms. Marzita Bawden, Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman, will continue.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show, or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Not all insurance is created equal, but who has the time to shop around? Take the guesswork out of your insurance coverage with Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Let us match you with the best coverage to suit your needs at a price to suit your wallet. Plus, get superior customer service from dedicated claims professionals to ensure speedy claims processing. Get your insurance through Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Pet owners are responsible for the protection of their pets during disaster events. If you plan to evacuate, plan for your pet as well, because they are not allowed in public emergency shelters. If you go to friends or relatives, and if it's okay to take your pets, also take your pet survival kit as well. Your kit should include proper ID, collar and tag, carrier or cage, leash, at least 2 weeks supply of moist pet food to preserve water or food bowls, any necessary medications, and plenty of newspaper for sanitary purposes and disinfectant. After the disaster, be careful in allowing your pets outside. Downed power lines, damaged buildings, and other animals and insects brought with the disaster could also present real dangers to your pet. Also, take care not to allow your pet to consume food or water which may have become contaminated.
This is brought to you by the Barbados Government Information Service and Breeze 105.3.
Cayman Brack, yes, it is your turn. The Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run will be stopping by Southside Public Beach Saturday, November 24th.
Runners, on your mark.
Help support the So-and-So Club and join Radio Cayman for the Brack Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run.
Go.
The first 100 participants will receive a shirt and a goodie bag. Register at District Administration or online at www.caymanactive.com.
Let's go. Make no excuses now. I'm talking here and now.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record with your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Ms. Marzita Borden, who's the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. We have the phone lines open, but we want to discuss specifically the topic that we're talking about today, which is beloved table dinner, a dinner party with a difference. Has to do with farm to table at Cayman Cabana, as well as Foster's Food Fair, where they will provide food for you to make your own meals. And you've heard Ms. Marzita Borden talk about the whole event, and we will have her repeat that as well. So our phone lines are open, 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky, or WhatsApp us at 925-3261. But we want to restrict it to the conversation that we're having. If you have any details, questions, if you have any suggestions that you may want to make in relation to this as well, we would welcome you. Now, Ms. Marzita, you mentioned the farm to table at Cayman Cabana, and it is certainly quite timely and that you would choose Cayman Cabana, which is located right on the waterfront, right next to what you used to call Red Spot, or where the fishermen gather to sell their fish as well, because right on that breakwater there, that was a place where in the old Cayman days, men would get out there on the waterfront on a Sunday morning or in the evenings, sit on the breakwater and talk politics, talk whatever. Another place not too far from that location would have been the breakwater at Hogstye Bay as well, where men, and you see a lot of old Caymanian photographs where the men are out there on their bicycles sitting around and chatting. And if you weren't in their age group, unfortunately, You weren't allowed to be around it and sit around and talk. When big men are talking, you had to stay out of it. So I guess the only difference is that we don't have an age limit here in terms of the discussion. We want to get everyone, involved. We want to hear from youngsters as well as, old people, older persons as well in this particular event. But it is quite opportune for you to have chosen Cayman Cabana for the farm to table one, because the location is perfect.
Yeah, it is. Anything that's next to the water, of course, is wonderful. The sound of the water breaking, and it's therapeutic. I'm curious, when the men were having this conversation, I wonder where all the women were. I want to scope out that spot and see how we can channel that. But the farm to table dinner is, of course, open to everyone, all ages. Everyone from the Cayman Islands, those who are living in the Cayman Islands, regardless where you're from, because it's a national conversation about the Cayman Islands, about its future and the well-being of the people who call it home, and the people, whether that home is year-round or if they're visiting as well. Like you said, the farm to table dinner, the live event that's happening on the 29th of November, people can absolutely attend that. And they can also host at home or elsewhere and have that too. And we would encourage parents to have that with their children, or family to include younger children, because I believe that, of course, the children are our future. Almost sounded like Whitney Houston just now. I believe the children are our future. But it's true. And from the mouths of babes, sometimes you hear what children have to say, and they speak with an innocent and pure perspective that I think helps us see things that we often can't see because we're blocked by all the things that are going on in the world around us. So I would encourage for families to include children in these conversations, because we want to get a 360-degree perspective on the 6 big questions that we're talking about and what comes up from that. And like you said, it's not just about ho-hum, this is what's wrong with Cayman too, but there are some questions in there too about what are the things that you're grateful for. Of course, this is the weekend leading up to Cayman Thanksgiving, and for people who aren't familiar, it's an opportunity to spread gratitude and express thanks and that sort of Cayman kindness, marking the end of hurricane season, and our gratitude for that, and sharing that sense of community and culture in the Cayman Islands. So it's absolutely an opportunity for everybody to be a part of this experience. And we want that people see this as an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation about Cayman. Like we talked about earlier, sometimes these conversations happen very informally, and this is not meant to be super formal, but what it is there's a framework, there's a structure around it, so that we can get insights on specific themes and matters, and then we can share that information easily with the wider community. But the idea is to have a collective, focused, meaningful conversation about Cayman, whether that's around the dinner table, if you choose to do it that way, at the live event, or with the Foster's meal in a box, your own meal, or if you decide you just want to do it around the domino table, that works too.
Right. Now, for those who would be interested in hosting something, I want you to go back and talk about the toolkit and talk about the role of a host.
So the hosts, I hope many people are thinking about hosting it. But the host is essentially the person who helps to guide the conversation. Of course, you can use the word as moderate is what we would use, but I don't want people to think it's like going to be super formal. It's a person just to guide it and make sure that the group moves along the 6 questions we have in the toolkit. The questions expanded to give the host some more material to dive into certain things. If they find that the group needs questions framed a bit differently, we have that as well. But if you are hosting at home where you're having your own dinner, we also have things like a suggested schedule. We have a sample invitation that you can send to people who want to attend with your address and details. We've basically given you the template to host your own dinner party. And we have like sort of insights in the toolkit, like, you invite 8 to 10 individuals who may or may not know each other. You choose an intimate space where people can be heard easily, because naturally we want people to have a single conversation, and it's important if you collect the insights and the feedback, and it is productive. You need to be able to hear people. Things like making sure that no one person dominates the question, where to send highlights of the conversation, that sort of thing. So the toolkit dives into the dinner concept and where it all came from, how it works, why we're doing this, and then the tips for before the dinner, during the dinner, and afterward, in addition to the questions. The toolkit, you don't have to do anything to get it. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to submit any personal information. It's right there on the website that you can download it. It even has that feedback page where you can print that and just make your notes directly on it. And you can put that in the mail and send it to us. You can take a photo and send it to us. You can drop it off at the Government Administration Building. We also have a web page where, if you have your notes, you can go onto the web page and fill out the simple form, drop the information in, and we get it immediately. So we've made this as easy as possible for people to host. There's also even a couple of pages with the questions of the evening that you can print and include on the table, that guests don't have to go back and say, sorry, what was the question again? They can just have a quick read as well. So we've done our best to try to give you all the tools that you need to make the dinner successful, but all we need is your willingness and desire to carve out 2 hours of your time to do this.
Okay, we're going to take another commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. The conversation with Ms. Marzita Borden, the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman, will continue after this short break.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, formerly known as Professional Pharmacy, would like to thank the Cayman communities for their loyal support these past 18 years. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care. Thorough background checks and follow-up consultations is only the beginning. Your safety is our concern. Our staff are respected healthcare professionals whose job requires careful and precise calculations. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, where we prepare to provide exceptional care. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we care about your health.
You remember the sale at Vant Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice, the one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on, but now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself. While they still have so much to choose from, save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vant Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back, add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vant Motors will help you drive it home. Vant Motors on Walkers Road. A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Thousands of Caymanians work in our cruise tourism industry. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that 4,500 Caymanians work in this industry today as taxi and tour operators, boat captains and crew, restaurateurs, retailers, water sports operators, and ambassadors at our attractions. If our cruise tourism industry is half of what it is today, what are we going to do with our people, the thousands of unemployed Caymanians? Support the peers, support our tourism.
Initiating system. For information that matters, for the record, with Orrett Connor, continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, we have Ms. Marzita Borden, who's the Deputy Executive Chair of the Celebrate Cayman. We're discussing the beloved table dinner. Again, I will get her to repeat the dates, the venues, but also talk about the opportunity for you to host one of these events as well. And what is important to note with all of this, it also gives an opportunity for people to get to know each other, to create and share ideas, to expand networks and be part of, most importantly, be part of the national conversation about the Cayman Islands. There are many people who say, oh, they only want us to vote when comes election day, and after that, we don't hear from them. Well, here's an opportunity for you to be heard, for your ideas to be taken into consideration if you engage yourself in this venture as well. And there are so many ways of doing this. We have large groups like churches that have large congregations that you would want to encourage, and I'm sure that there are other entities that you would want to encourage to participate as well. Ms. Marzita?
Yes, that's correct. We're encouraging people, like you said, to be a part of a national conversation. We want that people will take a couple of hours to sit, talk meaningfully about the Cayman Islands and our vision for the future using these 6 questions that we have outlined. Share that feedback and insight with us. And at the end of it, when we share that report of insights and feedback that we've gotten, then we'll have the opportunity to get a good sense of what people across the Cayman Islands are thinking and feeling and what their vision for the country is. And like you said, there are lots of great opportunities for these conversations to happen. Yes, of course, in church groups, companies and organizations, non-profit organizations, and these are all entities as well that will benefit from the feedback that comes from these insights. Because, I mean, of course, I haven't done this before. We haven't done this before, so I don't know what 350 people might be thinking or feeling, but you might find that, you know what, a large area of concern is area X. And that might have been something that's underserved in the community. And then that presents an opportunity for civic-minded individuals, organizations, the government, nonprofits to perhaps take a better stock and look at that and say, all right, this is what a lot of people are thinking, this is what's on the radar. We probably need to do something about that. Or if we see, you know what, issue Y is something that really means a lot to the people who are living here or visiting here when it comes to their quality of life. When we think about decisions that we make and how we serve and affect this community, we need to make sure that quality Y is something that's consistently preserved because that's incredibly important to the people. So it's an opportunity to, as you say, come to the table, share your insights and be a part of and contribute to this collective conversation about our country and its future. Okay,
how do we assure people who will want to participate in this that the outcomes in relation to their input, that there will be some outcomes as a result of it, that attention will be paid to whatever information you have received?
Well, quickly, because I know that someone raised the question about the ways that you can submit that information. We have the feedback sheet that's in the toolkit that people can fill out and send to us. We have a feedback page on the website that you can submit that, and the link is in the toolkit. But also, if someone says, you know what, I have my notes here in front of me, can't mail it, can't take a photo, send it in, whatever the case is, I want to maybe verbally share what that is. You can also open the notes app on your phone, your voice notes app. You can record your responses that you received or highlights of it from question 1 through 6 and send that to us by email as well. Of course, I'm sure you can appreciate that we would want you to send something in writing because, of course, then we'd have to transcribe that. And if we have 300 people sending in audio notes, that can be challenging. But hopefully you can, even if you take a photo and send it in, that would be helpful that we can see it to make sure we don't miss anything either. But in terms of the outcomes and what happens next, I think that this is something that, like I said, we haven't done before. We don't know what the outcomes are going to be specifically. But I believe that if we have this national conversation where we have lots of people from across the community participate in it. We have feedback, and it's there in black and white, some of these insights, what people are thinking, what they're feeling. I think it presents a great opportunity to civic-minded individuals and organizations, private sector, public sector, not-for-profit sector, to take that information and feed it into their plans and desires for the country. I certainly can't sit here and say that if 500 people come back and say they want a particular thing to happen, that's absolutely going to happen. But what I will say is that if 500 people say this is something that we care about, it's then very difficult for people who care about or focus on that particular area to not do something about it and not take note of it. Similarly, I think that if we are having this type of conversation and we've asked specifically about things that people care about, and people don't take the opportunity to express that, or people don't openly share that in the forum, and we don't get that feedback, it's hard for us to deduce that as well. So I think that this is simply an exercise where we all have to operate truly with love of country and with taking the step forward in the direction that we all want to go. And some people might say, well, what if no one does anything about it? Well, who is no one, right? Some people might say, well, if people say this, well then, I don't know, government should do this particular thing. And while lots of people might say that, you know what, yes, the government needs to do everything, I think that we as citizens have an obligation in this country to do things as well. And so if we find that, you know, there's a particular matter or issue that we all care about, who is to say that citizens can't get engaged and activate and do something about that, or in their everyday life operate with that awareness that this is what my fellow man cares about? Because if you look at me and you tell me, right, I care a lot about, I don't know, recycling, and you say that to me, and we work together, and we realize, you know what, 6 of our 10 people care a lot about waste management, but there's no mechanism to recycle at work, for example. I can see where 6 people can easily have conversations within their office environment to make sure that the right avenues and the tools to recycle are in the workplace, if that matters a lot to them. So, I mean, small example, but it's an example where when you highlight the issues, immediately it will present opportunities for people, and we are the people, to do something about it. I am a huge advocate for taking action. And I think that if you have a conversation where something comes up and you can do something about it, I think that we should do something about it. But again, you can't know what that is unless the conversation is had. So I can't guarantee that anybody will do anything in particular about the outcomes. But what we are doing is creating that forum for views to be expressed, for thoughts to be shared, for insights to be shared, for it to be documented. And hopefully through the creation and sharing of ideas, expanding networks, breaking bread together, building these bonds, it will inspire deeper thought and action towards getting some of these things done, regardless of by whom.
Those persons who may be concerned about anonymity, what do we say to them?
I want to say I totally understand. And if you want to remain anonymous, that's okay. What we want to do is we want people to register their table. And again, it's on that same website, celebrateCayman.ky/beloved, BELOVED. So we want you to register the table simply because we want to know sort of how many of these conversations are happening. But when it comes to the feedback, there's none of your personal information is required to submit. So you can go to that form. You can put your name and email, and that's particularly if you want to receive that report directly afterward. But if you don't want to put your information in and you want to submit that anonymously, you can answer questions 1 through 6, hit submit, without a name attached to it. And then you can keep an eye out on our website for when the report comes out. We'll obviously share it with the wider media. We'll publish it. We'll put something in the local press so you to know where you can get it when it's available. But if you don't want to attach your name to it, that's totally fine too. Because at the end of the day, we don't need to know who you are to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. I think simply the act of sharing that demonstrates that you care, and that's what's important. But if you want to get those insights directly, if you want us to know who you are, if you want to say, look, I want to help do something about this, of course we then need your contact details, but you don't have to tell us who you are to submit the feedback at the end of the day.
Excellent. We've reached the top of the hour. We're going to go to our headline news. When we return, I'm going to ask Ms. Bodden to go over those 6 questions again as well for our listening and viewing audience. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
A new postal product line has been launched on Cayman Brac that will enable local businesses, notably small businesses and cottage industries, to amp up their services in time for the coming Christmas season. Government says as a result of this service, customers at Cayman Islands post offices are now able to ship out their locally made products at flat rates using the 2 new products, Cayman Kind Global that costs $25 and Cayman Kind Global Express at a cost of $40. Any product that fits into the confines of the postal service branded boxes can be easily shipped to overseas buyers. The availability of the boxes eliminates the need for customers to look for other packaging for posting their products. In news elsewhere, U.S. President Donald Trump said there is no reason for him to listen to a recording of the very violent, very vicious killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which has put him in a diplomatic bind. How to admonish Riyadh for the slaying, yet maintain strong ties with a close ally. Trump, in an interview that aired Sunday, made clear that the audio recording supplied by the Turkish government would not affect his response to the October 2nd killing of Khashoggi, a columnist for the Washington Post who had been critical to the Saudi royal family. Israel avoided early elections after a key coalition partner in Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government said on Monday that he would not withdraw his party, keeping the coalition intact despite a crisis triggered by a violent flare-up with Gaza militants. The education minister there said his hard-line, pro-settler Jewish Home Party would give Netanyahu another chance to address the security challenges facing Israel, listing off threats from Gaza and Lebanon, among others, which he wanted dealt with more firmly. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanta Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have Ms. Marzita Bodden, who's the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman. We're talking about the beloved table dinner that will take place between Thursday, the 29th of November, and it will basically run until Sunday, the 2nd of December as well. There are polls and there are polls. This is really not your typical poll where you get to answer a yes or no question or whatever. Tell us how this compares or does not really compare to a poll.
Yeah, this doesn't compare. This is truly about having a meaningful conversation about Cayman. And yes, I get that sort of saying yes, no and stuff in surveys gives you some data points. But this conversation gives us the opportunity to really get to the heart of the way people are thinking and feeling about the Cayman Islands and their vision for our country and the well-being of its people. And a couple of people asked, the questions. So I'll go through what those 6 questions are, as well as some of the helpful tips that we've shared for the moderator just to have support throughout the evening. So question number 1, what is the best thing about living in the Cayman Islands? Question number 2, Celebrate Cayman is focused on engaging, educating and inspiring youth, celebrating our diversity and encouraging connection, establishing a spirit of cultural community and discovering the Cayman Islands' colourful history and engendering national pride. So ultimately, when you think of a diverse, inspired, proud and thriving Cayman Islands 5 years from now, what does it look like? Question 3. We hear a lot about social issues related to civil rights, development, economic equality, education, employment, the environment, and public health. Considering these issues and others, which matter most to you and what makes them important to you? Question 4. It's been said that families, in their many forms, are the building blocks of a thriving community. Based on your own experience, how can we best support families and ensure they thrive in our community? Question 5. When you think of the changes that have occurred in the Cayman Islands, what are you most thankful for? And question 6. From your perspective, what is the Cayman Islands' biggest untapped opportunity? And some helpful tips that we have for table hosts are to encourage people to share stories and stay away from theories. So again, we want to get the true perspectives from people. We want there to be meaningful discussion, a healthy conversation. Ensure that everyone has a chance to speak. This style of dinner is meant that we have a single conversation as opposed to side conversations, because of course we don't want the moderator to miss anything that's important, and of course show respect for the person who's speaking. No one person should dominate the conversation, so everybody should have the opportunity to share their views and perspectives. The host can ask follow-up questions where appropriate, and we do have a page where we've expanded on those 6 conversations where the moderator can use those to dive in a bit more, to reframe a question if necessary based on the person's circumstance if it's a bit different. They can capture key points from the conversations on a sheet that is provided within the toolkit, and then they share those with us. And then ultimately we want people to close with a toast to the future, which is a chance for each individual to raise their glass to the Cayman Islands of tomorrow, whether that glass is K-Brew, water, swanky, something else. The idea is I think that having people sit with a focus on the Cayman Islands, breaking bread together, building bonds, having a healthy collective conversation about Cayman and sharing that, I think is the type of positive focus and energy that we want to put on Cayman, particularly as we celebrate Cayman Thanksgiving, marking the end of a hurricane season. We have 11 days to go, and I know we've had anomalies happen afterward, but we've been incredibly blessed here this hurricane season again. But also as we go into the holiday season, I think this time of year people tend to be a bit kinder to each other, which I think is wonderful, and I think has a lot to do with the fact that it's cooler as well. But I think it's a great opportunity to put us all in the spirit of thinking positively about Cayman and thinking meaningfully about what we're all facing. And of course, as we enter a new year, it might spark ideas for, when I think about what my personal goals are and professional goals are, and you're thinking, well, what do I want to contribute to my community? There might be something that comes up in that conversation that might inspire you to do something a bit differently, or stop doing something that you've been doing, or whatever the case may be in 2019. And this is on an individual level, but also at the corporate level, at the government level, not-profit, family level. I think it's an opportunity for us to truly get a better sense of what we want. And I think that we might surprise ourselves individually, because things might come up for us with the conversation that we didn't realize that we thought or that we felt. I mean, personally, I am very interested to see what comes up for me in this conversation, because while, of course, I am in it and I've helped create it with the team, Alfonso Wright, Cara Coe, and Christy Watler, we don't know what's going to happen on that evening, and I think that's the beautiful thing about this, because we don't know, and at the end of it, we want people to share that feedback, whether it's by submitting the form to us in the post at Government Admin Building, sending it in as a photo, emailing in their detail, or sending a voice note to us. We want to get this feedback because ultimately, these conversations may help to define our country and the future of our country and the well-being of the people in this country. And I think if we take 2 hours to have this conversation, not knowing what could happen, but knowing that a U.S. president used this sort of tool to define his country and his presidency and his legacy, I think that it would be remiss of us to not take the same or a similar opportunity to take 2.5 hours to do that. And like I said, if people can choose the way that they want to participate in the Beloved Table Dinner, they can attend the event, the Farm to Table Dinner at Cayman Cabana on the 29th of November. That starts at 6:30, and it's a 4-course meal, complete with your welcome drink of swanky made with civil orange, and after-dinner entertainment. And it's $60 a person plus gratuities. If you want to take your family out, if you want to take your employees out, if you want just some friends to go out together, if you want to do a table together, the table, $700 for 10 people. Again, 4-course meal featuring fresh farm-to-table food inspired by the Cayman Islands and the abundance of our land and sea there as well. If you want to host at home, our friends at Foster's Food Fair have a 3-course meal that feeds 8 to 10 people for $100. Phenomenal deal. Includes things like your choice of main, Cayman-style beef, coconut curry fish, roast pork with gravy, and of course all the sides that we like, from baked macaroni and cheese to plantain to potato salad, rice and beans, so much more. And you can also make your own meal. What people might also want to do, which is something that I'm personally planning to do, is I'm going to attend the live event, and I'm also going to purchase the meal in a box from Foster's to have on Cayman Thanksgiving weekend, because it's a phenomenal deal. And of course, there's lots of groups and networks and all that sort of thing that I want to share this experience with as well. So if you're so minded, I would encourage you to explore all options to do that. If you are very busy that weekend, I know there's a lot that's happening that weekend, you can have this Beloved Table Dinner anytime you want. We want people to have this conversation at a time that works well for them. The feedback that we want from people, it has to come in by the 14th of December to be included in that wider report. However, if for some reason you can't do it until afterward, that's okay. Still do it. Still send it to us, and we'll have it. But we want people to plan to have these dinners before the 14th of December and submit that to us. I will mention that, of course, that we talk about this happening this 29th of November through the 2nd of December, but the Foster's meal in a box is only available the 29th to the 1st of December, because, of course, it's a Sunday is the 2nd of December and Foster's isn't open. So you'd have to get it on the Saturday if you want to enjoy that on Sunday. So there's lots of ways for people to enjoy this, and I think that ultimately what we want people to do is to attend or host or participate in some way, because whether you have been in Cayman your entire life, whether you visit us a few times a year on holiday, whether you have just arrived, whether you are living abroad and you still want to host something like this. I know lots of students, they have their communities, their Cayman networks abroad as well. We want you to do that. Our website, celebrateCayman.ky/beloved, BELOVED, has all the information, including the toolkit you can download, and you can submit your feedback anonymously if you wish. But we want everyone to participate in this. It's a national conversation. it's, yes, a dinner party, but it's with a difference. It's an opportunity to come together, to have a meaningful conversation about the Cayman Islands. And when we share that report and feedback with people, who knows what's going to happen, but I remain optimistic that it's going to spark ideas, it's going to spark connection, it's going to encourage people to take action about the things that we learn about what our friends, neighbours here in this country are thinking and feeling.
Yep. Now, as regards to the farm to table event, if I choose to come as an individual,
yes,
how will I be accommodated?
If you choose to come as an individual, well, you'll be participating in. I believe that a lot of people will be coming as individuals. Not everyone will be hosting a table. But that just means simply you will enjoy the experience that we want everyone to have. You will be connecting with different people from the community, people that you may or may not know. But you're all there because you care about Cayman, you care about its people, and you want to have this conversation. And like I said, you have the conversations are on the website in the toolkit. You can have a look at what they are. But I think if you turn up on the evening, you're turning up prepared to share something really special with people that it really doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. The point is what's brought us all together is our care for our beloved Cayman Islands. Precisely. So I think that's an additional opportunity for you to connect and probably walk away with a new friend.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break, so please stay tuned. When we return, we will have our the last portion of our conversation with Ms. Marzita Barton, who is the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You remember the sale at Vant Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice. The one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on. But now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself. While they still have so much to choose from, save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vant Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back, add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vant Motors will help you drive it home. Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Come celebrate with Putin Cleaners as they celebrate their 60th anniversary in laundry and dry cleaning service to the Cayman Islands by entering to win big in the annual Christmas drawings. Main prize is $600 plus other prizes and surprises. Pre-drawings will take place at each of our locations: Savannah, November 24th, Elgin Avenue, December 1st, and Centennial Towers, December 8th at 12:30 p.m. The grand prize drawing will be on December 22nd, 4 p.m. at Putin's main store located on 337 Easton Avenue, Georgetown. All customers with pickup tickets $17 and over, whether old or new orders, are qualified to enter. Make sure you drop your pickup tickets in the box provided at any of our 4 convenient locations near you for a chance to win big this Christmas. And don't forget, it's party time. Let us help you look your best. You feel good when you look good. We sincerely thank you for your patronage throughout the year and hope we have the privilege to continue serving you. Putin Cleaners, 949-7104.
Cayman's cruise industry must be preserved and developed. It is a myth that the cruise lines will continue to call on Cayman at the rate they do now without the piers. It is a fact that the mega-class ships will not be tendered. Arrivals will decline by half over time as the older ships are decommissioned. This will hurt our economy and thousands of Caymanians who work in this industry. If we want to continue providing opportunities for Caymanians, we need the piers. Support the piers. Support our tourism.
Yes, sir. it.
Cayman Brack, yes, it is your turn. The Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run will be stomping by Southside Public Beach Saturday, November 24th.
Runners, on your mark.
Help support the So-and-So Club and join Radio Cayman for the Brack Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run. The first 100 participants will receive a shirt and a goodie bag. Register at District Administration or online at www.caymanactive.com.
Let's go. Make no excuses now. I'm talking here and now.
Initiating system.
For information that matter, for the record, with Orrett Connor, continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio, we have Ms. Marcita Borden, who is the Deputy Executive Chair of Celebrate Cayman. We're talking about the beloved Cayman, table dinner. What it is about, it's an opportunity for you to come together for a meaningful conversation about the Cayman Islands' future while enjoying delicious local food. The dinner table has long been a birthplace of connection and action. It was also practiced by U.S. President Thomas Jefferson. He pioneered the art of dinner with the intention inviting people from all over the country and the world to his table and encouraging conversation on issues and topics of the day. So here in the Cayman Islands, you're being invited to join us in bringing that practice to life across the islands. Your dinner will harness the power of gathering around a table to break bread, to build community, and inspire thought and action. Our greatest hope is that ideas sparked at these dinners will translate into meaningful collaboration in the months ahead as well. This is a part of the 60th anniversary of the Cayman Islands Coat of Arms Celebrate. Cayman is encouraging the people of the Cayman Islands to host beloved table dinners where you can talk about our vision of our country and the well-being of all those who call the Cayman Islands home. And this is also being held around the time to honor Cayman Thanksgiving as well. Ms. Borden.
Yes. So the beloved table dinners are a national conversation. It's a dinner party with a difference, and we want anyone who cares about the Cayman Islands to carve out a couple of hours of their time to attend or host or participate in a beloved table dinner. So on Thursday, the farm to table dinner at Cayman Cabana, Thursday 29th of November, the farm to table dinner will be happening at Cayman Cabana, and for CI $60 per person, there's a welcome drink, 4-course Cayman Islands inspired meal, after dinner live entertainment. And for those of you who might be curious of what that menu includes, there's homemade swanky, it's Cayman lemonade made with civil orange. There's a harvest soup based on seasonal produce from our local farmers. There is the Cabana ceviche duo with bread kind chips, and it's coconut ceviche and lionfish ceviche. For dinner, there's a farm to table salad with local spicy and mild mixed greens, tomato, cucumber, white radish, carrot, scallion, coconut bacon, and Scotch bonnet vinaigrette. From our friends in Cayman Brack, there's a Cayman Brack Pioneer Bakery bread basket, and that'll be with herbed butter and local bread, local beet and goat cheese spread. There's some stewed turtle, local market fresh catch of the day, the chef's preparation, pineapple and starfruit salsa, Callaloo garden rice, and a seasonal vegetable dish for anyone who may prefer to not have an animal protein. And then dessert is a nice cassava heavy cake. So at that experience there, people can come along as an individual, as a pair, with friends, take a table, and each table will have a moderator or host, which will guide the 8 to 10 people through this conversation about Cayman with the 6 big questions that are available in the toolkit that you can also download from our website at celebratecayman.ky/beloved, and you can purchase tickets right there as well. If you wanted to host one of these at home, our friends at Foster's Food Fair have made this incredibly easy and appetizing for all of us to do. And we're encouraging people to host from Thursday the 29th of November through Sunday the 2nd of December. The meals from Foster's are only available through Saturday evening. And you have to place the orders 48 hours in advance. But there's a 3-course meal featuring local favourites prepared by the catering team at Foster's. It's CI $100 and feeds 8 to 10 people. Every dinner comes with 12 dinner rolls that are baked and ready to enjoy. And for your main course, you have a choice of Cayman-style beef, fried coconut fish with curry coconut sauce, or with the sauce on the side, of course, to keep that nice, the fish nice and crunchy for you. And then roast pork with savory herb gravy. In the side dishes, you can choose 3 from rice and beans, baked macaroni and cheese, Cayman-style potato salad, crushed local sweet potatoes, steamed callaloo, baked plantain, and then every dinner comes with a cassava cake. As well. And then if you want to make your own meal, you can do that as well. So we encourage you to make your own meal, gather 8 to 10 people, have the table host toolkit, and host your dinner. And if you have people who just want to gather more informally, perhaps on a domino table, as you suggested, that's okay too. Yes. Ultimately, we want people to create an environment that is intimate enough that everyone can be heard. There is a single conversation. No one dominates that conversation, but everyone's perspectives are heard. The host collects the key insights and the feedback, shares that with us, and then after the dinner, the report is shared with hosts directly if they provide us with their contact details, if they don't submit anonymously. And it'll also be on our website. We'll share the local press when that report's available. And hopefully the feedback and insights that we see from across the Cayman Islands, residents, visitors alike, that will inspire people in terms of what they do for this country going forward over the holiday season, far beyond that. And so if someone wants to host, it's really easy. You simply register your table, especially if you want to get those post-event feedbacks report directly. You review the toolkit, which is on our website, and it has the 6 big questions, helpful hosting tips, sample invitations to send to your guests, and more. And then you prepare for and get ready to host your beloved table dinner, ideally between the 29th of November and the 2nd of December. But if you can't submit, or if you can't host your dinner then, or you aren't available, that's okay. Do it whenever you can. But dinner feedback must be submitted by the 14th of December to be included in that post-dinner insights report. If you want to just simply attend the event at Cayman Cabana, purchase your ticket and come, and you will be at a table where you may or may not know the other people around the table, but what you do know about them is that they are also there because they care about this country and they want to have and be part of this national conversation.
And just to make it clear that this is not an event to drum up business for anyone. Those people who are having it at Cayman Cabana as well as Foster's Food Fair, they're doing it part of their good corporate citizenship program as well. And the fact that people are allowed to host it on their own or whatever goes to show you that it is about substance, not about making a profit for anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Celebrate Cayman has collaborated with organizations for profit and not for profit since we began our celebrations back in May. We have supported and worked alongside many individuals as well. And in this instance, our partners that we're pleased to partner with to present this are Cayman Cabana and Foster's Food Fair. But like you said, Cayman Cabana is hosting their very popular farm to table with a focus on the Cayman Islands and the beloved table dinner on this evening, which we're very grateful for.
Yes.
They are in the heart of Georgetown on the harbour. I've put in an order for fantastic weather that night, so it's going to be beautiful. And then, of course, we know that Foster's very popular deli caters lots of events on island. Lots of people will order Thanksgiving and holiday meals from them. And, of course, it's great to have them collaborating with us to deliver this very special meal to make sure that if someone wants to host, it's easily accessible and easily available, and people can have this very true authentic experience that has Cayman woven right through it.
And the time frame for Foster's to place your orders?
Yeah, you have to place orders 48 hours in advance. So, like I said, you can have your dinner with the meal from Foster's between the 29th of November and the 2nd of December. However, of course, Foster's is not open on Sundays. So you'd have to order it to pick up on Saturday. And you will get a hard copy toolkit and everything with your meal box. So you have everything that you need, simply ordering it there. And I would encourage many people to, yes, attend the live event, but of course host a dinner as well and take advantage of this fantastic 3-course meal filled with Cayman and local favourites from Foster's Food Fair as well.
And in addition to information that is available on your website and the fact that they will get their toolkit if they order through Foster's, personal contact to the office as well if someone wanted to speak directly to someone about hosting an event or whatever, details in relation to contacts.
Sure. Well, our email address is celebrateCayman@gov.ky. You can also visit our website, which has a page, a feedback form or a contact page that you can send us in a question or anything that you have as well. And then, of course, you can call us through the main line at Government Administration Building and ask for Celebrate Cayman. The Celebrate Cayman team is Alfonso Wright, Cara Coe, Christy Watler and me, Marzita Bonds. You can ask for any one of us and you can get in contact with us. But ultimately, lots of the information is available on the website, celebrateCayman.ky/beloved. So have a look there. But of course, please do contact us, reach out to us. There's a few people as well who've contacted us through Facebook. We have a Facebook page and we have the event page for Beloved Table Dinner on Facebook. You can send us a message through Facebook as well and we'll respond to you there. But if you have any questions or at all, of course, contact us. But we want that anyone, if you care about the Cayman Islands, if you care about the future of this country, if you care about the well-being of our people, and you want to be a part of a meaningful collective conversation, we encourage you to mark your calendar and make some space to participate in or attend or host a Beloved Table Dinner. And information again on that is celebrateCayman.ky/beloved. That's BELOVED. And this is a part of the 60th anniversary to commemorate the Cayman Islands Coat of Arms. But ultimately, it's an exercise in encouraging community connection, celebrating our diversity, engendering national pride, and bringing our community closer together through breaking bread and building bonds at the Beloved Table Dinner.
Yep. And people, there's an opportunity for you to have your say as well. Any closing comments?
I just want to say a huge thanks to the wider community who has been and continues to be so engaged and excited about things Celebrate Cayman. We've had several initiatives over the past few months. Just last week, we participated in several of the heritage days that had at our local schools. We were at Prospect Primary and Lighthouse School just on Friday. So we are very grateful that people are engaging with Celebrate Cayman. People are excited about it because it is an opportunity for us to commemorate where we are and where we're going, and this is another opportunity to do that as well. So please continue to stay connected with us, engage with us, participate in the initiatives. There aren't just events. Thanks to all the people who participated in the Q&A that was happening on Radio Cayman too, our culture moment. Hopefully you're enjoying your good Celebrate Cayman goodies too. But celebrateCayman.ky is where you can find everything that's happening with us. We are celebrating Cayman in many ways ways, and it is for each and every one of us that call the Cayman Islands home, who care about the Cayman Islands, whether you are here, whether you're abroad, because Celebrate Cayman is ultimately about this beloved country and its people. So just thank you all for your support. Please participate in the Beloved Table Dinner, which is proudly presented by Celebrate Cayman and our friends at Cayman Cabana and Foster's Food Fair.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for being here as well and providing such information. And I want to thank the Celebrate Cayman committee as well, basically for the great work that you're doing, and encourage you to continue as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. I also want to remind you that during this festive season that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join me at 12:15 for Talk Today. I will be guest hosting for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking and pension needs, call or visit a Fidelity branch today. Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealerships serving the Cayman Islands. And Cayman Pharmacy Group, with locations in West Base and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. And Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling Seaboard Marine at 949-4977.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.